Alright guys, in this video, we're taking this Chevy SSR go-kart, taking its heart out and putting it in one of the nicest C5 Corvettes y'all have ever seen. So stay tuned with us, and we're about to go pull this motor out. It's 9 o'clock at night and I ain't got no windshield. I'm getting bugs in my eyelids. I'll see you guys at the shop. Well, we got down to the shop. It has a weird noise. Maybe just because it's been sitting for so long. But yeah, passed a cop on the way and he got behind us and then followed us here. Pretty dope. Really cool guy. But we're here. About to diagnose that noise before we go any further though. Alright guys, got it on the lift. We're getting everything underneath it done. Joe and his LS7 crew cab. Got the exhaust unhooked. Don't know if you can see it. Working on getting the starter out, but these things are actually really tight to work on. But got all the grounds and everything unhooked over here. And everything off the front of the block. Now we're working on the passenger side. Once everything on here's done, I'm sure we'll try to get some bell housing bolts out of there. And then we'll go up top and start undoing everything up there. All right, I fought the torque converter bolts for like an hour because they give you absolutely zero room. I'm convinced that the starter replacement requires the motor to be pulled out. Now we're up top, about to digging all this. It may look like we have room, but it's really tight in here. So we're gonna get everything off of here. Probably put you up on a time lapse so you guys can see it. Guys, that right there is an LS2 6-liter early model. Still should be 24x 1x on the cranking cam. I don't ever want to do that again on an SSR. More power to those guys in GM in like 2005-6 that were doing these. You got my respect. That was absolutely terrible. There's no room in here. Everything's just compact, but I rated about a 7 out of 10 on, just an absolute pain. But it's out now. That's all that matters. So now I got to rip off all that weird stuff. And I guess I'll pick you guys up when the C5 is walking in here. But it's 1 in the morning right now. And we got to work again tomorrow. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow, maybe. All right, guys. Here's the 6.0 out of the SSR. I got it on this little roll around engine stand. Right now I'm just going to rip the heads and stuff off of it. Take off all that because there is a noise in there. And I actually did buy new bearings. This motor is going to get a GPI cam kit, BTR springs, GPI push rods, all that good stuff. So I gotta rip it down anyway, so might as well show you guys. That's as far as I can get it tore down. This little roll around stand, the oil pan won't come off. Everything internally looks really good. Cam bearings look really good. Cam's been over fine. All the gaskets look good. All the pistons look good. We've cleaned this side, haven't cleaned the other side. Yeah, I mean, everything looks really good. We're about to put that motor on that stand and that motor on this stand so we can get everything under, because we are going to pull a couple rods and maybe 1 or 2 mains because it did have that weird noise I told you guys at the beginning of the video. All right, got the motor pulled down a little bit further on the stand. Like we said, there was a noise in the back, kind of, and a quick way to tell. Let's look at the rod caps. This one looked a little blue, more blue than the rest. There's a little quick comparison. This is actually cylinder 8. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that is probably our culprit. But the good thing is it don't look like it got into the crank. You can't feel nothing with your fingernail. But yeah, I already bought new bearings this morning. Bought some Molly Performance H bearings. So we'll roll some bearings in it. Hello, and called it good. So Mr. Mechanic himself, whose actual car this is going in, thinks he can roll bearings out. He thinks it's still 1995. I guess we'll see how this one goes. He gave up.
I gave up.
Bearing actually looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
The other side didn't look that good. Get all that red lint in there.
Damn right.
Got these Molly H bearings. Already got that one rolled in. About to slap new one and the rod cap and do that to the rest of the 7. like the next week. About to throw the motor together. And right now, I'm getting the broken off studs out of there. If you can't tell, the easiest way to do this is just weld a nut onto them. And the trick to it is put your welder on the hottest setting and get that thing really hot, and it'll come right out almost every time. But after this, I'm gonna go clean these all up, degrease them, probably at the car wash, come back, swap the springs, got some dual 660s. Every time. Just got the heads back from the car wash, degreased them all. They look brand new. Got the head deck surface cleaned. Now I'm about to rip off these springs and put BTR dual 660s on there for the cam. So I'll probably just catch you guys when those are done because I don't want to bore you guys with that. All right, guys, got both the heads done right here. BTR dual 660s. They're the two-piece valve seal design. But yeah, they're all cleaned up. Like I said, the bottoms are all cleaned up. Just now got the block all cleaned up too. I think this is the best that head deck surface is getting. I cleaned up the pistons. And I think now I'm about to put the lifters and stuff in. They've been soaking in oil. Got the Morel lifters, 7717's part number on them. The camshaft choice, the GPI SS3. GPI's really got their stuff figured out. Probably one of the best off-the-shelf cams I've found to the date. And it works really good in 6.0s. We've had this combination in another 6.0 with 243s, and it ran really good. So about to lift this up with the Simba Lube, get it all in there, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. New cam retaining plate here about to go on there. Always just dip your finger in a little oil and wipe around that O-ring. If you reuse your old one, which a lot of people do, just make sure the O-rings still got some pop up to it, because if they're flat, it's kind of like an internal oil leak. New camera tanks, I mean, you can barely see it, it's on there. Just got the cam in time, dot to dot. Don't line it up to the keyway. Some people freak out and do that. It's weird, I don't know why, I've never even thought about it, but yeah, cam gear's back on. It's in time. It's the LS2 dampener. Comes factory. Always put that in there if you have that tensioner. It's going to break and send the shit through your motor. I think right now I'm about to put the oil pump on. And the reason I didn't put the oil pump on before is because with this dampener, it's really hard to find that dot. But you guys can wash the piston and line it up right on the corner of this alignment deal for the oil pump, and it'll get you in time. But yeah, I'm about to slap the oil pump on there, get that all aligned, tighten it up. Can't put the pickup tube on yet because I don't got the oil pan. I mean, I guess I can. Oh, actually, no, I can. I don't have the pickup tube. Ah. So the oil pump choice I'll be running for this motor is a Melling 10296. It's kind of their performance series. It's a high pressure pump, not a high volume. Because of it being a C5 vet, it's more than likely got the Batwing pan, and I think a high pressure won't suck it dry. You can always run an extra cord on those, but you will never suck a pan dry with a high pressure, but a high volume you run that chance, and you'll never suck a truck pan dry with a high volume. So don't let people feed you full of that. I've done donuts on 7,000 RPM limiter and never had that happen, so it's a myth. But on the car pans, it is more likely to happen. So we just went with the high pressure 296, ran this in a lot of Corvettes and Camaros and G8s and that stuff of that nature. Never had oil starvation issues, so why not run it again? It's a good pump. Just got the milling pump on, aligned, and it's tightened down now. So well, we should be good to go up here, because I don't think I put the timing chain cover on without aligning the oil pan first. I'm sure you could put the flat edge down there or straight edge, but it's not something I do, so I'm just gonna wait till I have the oil pan on there. That stuff takes 2 seconds, so. It's got the Morel 7717 lifters sitting there soaking oil. Got good BTR trays. These are really GM trays, but just rebranded with BTR. They're the best ones. They're not all flexible. The cheap ones will be really flexible, and these are really stiff, and they hold the lifters in there good, which these are probably the best ones on the market besides the GM. So definitely recommend the BTR trays. But yeah, I'm about to just poke them in there. All lifters trays in there tightened down. Got the BTR LS2 head gaskets. Again, I think they're very, very, very similar to GM. They might even be GM just with BTR slapped on them. Heads are on. You guys see me torquing them down. My torque wrench luckily does angle, so we did use Tortillo bolts again. These are new bolts from GM, but we thought about going ARP, but this thing is not going to be that crazy. It's just going to be like a fun little daily driver. And I've seen people push these torque heel bolts to 800 horse with ease. So for what it is, the torque heel bolts will be fine. Like I said, they're new. I was gonna put the valley cover gasket on there and the valley cover, but these O-rings aren't O-ringing anymore. So I needed to go to O'Reilly's and grab a national bearing, break it apart and plug these because it costs $2 rather than $40. Get new coolant crossover O-rings because those things are warped out there. But yeah, this is where we're at right now. Probably as far as it's gonna get today because I really can't do much. I mean, I can put the push rods and stuff in there, but oh well. All right, guys, forgot the video. Got the C5 in here. Actually, it was complete. Forgot the video, like I said. Started tearing the motor down, get it ready to pull out. So we found a problem. Cylinder 5 valve dropped. Bent the valve like crazy. We noticed that, and it broke the valve spring actually. But right now, we're about to get the exhaust under there. It's got some pucks underneath the car because these vets use pucks to lift it up. So I got those out. About to slide the rears in, lift it up, get the exhaust out of there, get the bell housing all loose. Here's that valve spring I was talking to you guys about. It broke that, bent the push rod, you know. But here's all the stuff we have off of it so far. We're actually gonna pull the motor out to the top. Everybody says you can't do it, but we're about to do it. Just drop the steering right down a little bit. It shouldn't be too bad. We got a bunch of help. Yeah, I'm about to lift this thing up. I'll catch you guys when the exhaust out. All right, guys, we're underneath the car. Just got the starter out of there, got the exhaust out of there, the headers, and then the factory X-pipe stuff. This car does have a bat wing oil pan. As y'all can tell, this looks a little goofy. It looks like bat wings, why they call it that. But you can tell someone kept trying to crank over this motor. They actually broke the flywheel teeth. So it locked up pretty solid with that valve. So got these two bell housing bolts, or the torque tube bolts in this case. But these ones are gonna be a real pain. We're gonna keep trying, but I'll probably catch you guys after, I guess all of them are done. Still gotta get this oil level sensor and stuff, but after that, we should be pretty close. Went ahead, took the driver's side head off, C5. So as you remember, broke the valve spring, yada yada. There's part of the valve. There's that. That's why that spark plug wasn't coming loose. And there's cylinder 5. Messed up the lifter down in there too. The lift trail pushed out. There's a gigantic hole in the piston though. That's bad. Really not good. Well, it battled us in the first half. Didn't know who was going to come out on top, but we ended up getting it out. That was tough. We just lowered the cradle down instead of doing the steering rack. I'm sure there's a better way. We're going to have to find something else out going back in. But LS6 is out of there. Mr. Mechanic himself. Here's the oil pan off there. It's a bat wing. It's disgusting. Got pieces of piston all wrapped up in it. The oil, it's got coolant all in it, so it's all sticky and tacky. It looks like cymbal lube. But got a lower oil pan gasket coming. I guess O'Reilly can't get it, so bought it straight from GM. It's coming. About to go power wash off this thing. Paint it up, make it look better. This looks like crap. It's all crusty. It's probably been on there since 04. Brother, got the oil pan all cleaned out. It was really filthy. It's really clean for the most part now. It's got this new gasket in from GM. Gotta put this on there, put this back together. I'm actually gonna paint this because that stuff's all stained. I can't get it off there. I degreased a couple times. Just now got the push rods in, top covers on. These bolts stay loose because our motor plate goes right there. Oil pan's on, painted up. Kind of looks better than the rest of the motor, but oh well. All aluminum. And just now I got the valve covers cleaned up right here. About to slap some new Felpro gaskets in those and put those on after we put the rockers in. And we'll probably catch you guys after all that's in there. Motor is a complete long block almost. Just gotta tighten up like the AC bracket and everything. Yeah, we had to modify this motor mount a little bit. Had to do some grinding on her because this block's a little bit different than the LS1 or the LS6 block. But slight trimming, no big deal. This motor is ready to drop in. We also just gonna put a brand new throw bearing in there. The old one's all crusty and rusty and everything, so it's a lot easier to do with the motor out than having to drop that torque tube later because you have to take off that bell housing, separate it to get the throw it bearing out there with the lines. It's hydraulic, but it's all in there. So really, motor could go in. We got the brand new headers. Holy cow moly. time lapse quit because my phone fell. My dad slammed my toolboxes, slammed my drawers, but he'd have it come apart if I did it to his. But motor's in it, fought us for a while. Clutches did not want to line up, but they ended up going in. Everything's in, cradle's back in tight, so now the car can roll around. AC compressor decided it's locked up tight now, even though we spun it over the other day. Tomorrow, we'll probably either roll it out or put everything on it. One of the two. It's either gonna be done tomorrow or it's not, really. Alex just now got the new headers in, speed engineering, long tubes. The X pipe is also back there, but it's not in there yet. These things fit really good, honestly. I mean, it's kind of a pain to get the passenger side up in there, but once you get in there, it bolts right up. Put a new AC compressor in there, new AC tensioner. Need that one too, but O'Reilly's could not get it through their heads. Got the spark plugs in, AC Delco iridiums, new plug wires. Right now, we're about to cut and extend and swap pins A and C on the cam sensor because it's got to wrap around to the front now instead of the back, and those two are swapped, so don't get that twisted. About to extend that, and then once that's extended and plugged in, we'll start putting everything else on. This thing's honestly probably a good hour away from being able to start. Extended the cam sensor wiring, ran wire loom. It's gonna go underneath the intake. Just put all this stuff on to make sure I get the plug-in in there because it's really tight. You can barely see it, it's right there. But the front accessories are kind of back on there, so I don't know. We'll probably put another thermostat in it because all this stuff's old. So we'll probably just hook up the heater core right now. Motor's in, it's like 99% done. We put the air intake on there and tried to crank it over. It would not start. Ends up we're getting no fuel pressure, so we got a new fuel pump we're about to put in there. And after that, this thing should start up and run. Brand new 160-degree thermostat, belts, AC compressor. It's topped off all the fluids. It's got oil, coolant. And so now we really just need a fuel pump. And then next clip should be this thing busting off, dude. We actually already got a base tune loaded in too, so it should idle. All right, guys, new fuel pump's in. We're in neutral. It's straight piped. And we're still on a base tune, so it needs some work on it. Those are not hooked up, so don't look at those. That's gonna go ahead and wrap up this video, guys. Car's running great now. We got it tuned. Didn't like the idle, but we got that stuff figured out. You guys heard it. Car's done. Let me know what y'all think. This is about 2 weeks in the making. Hopefully we see more on this. And thank you guys for watching. Subscribe and stay tuned for more on all my other stuff. Thank you.